Hello everyone, welcome back to Edulogo's Mind. Now we are going to study about the job of historians. Historians ask the questions using the tools. What are the tools? The tools are old photographs, books, old poetry, buildings and monuments, old newspapers are the historian tools. And after that they examine the evidence means whatever they have got, the pottery, the monuments, that they are judging whether that these things are belongs to that place. And by judging, by examining all this evidence, whatever they are getting under the place or any evidence, any proof, they just examine that, judge that really that belongs to that place, and come into a conclusion. Then they say about that place history. Okay? Now tell me, history is a record of events that took place in the past. Yes, that's right. We study history through various tools such as timelines and sources like books, buildings, etc. Timeline is an important tool of history. Through the timeline, we come to know which events occur at first, which happened after that, and which occur after that. The sequence of any events that we come to understand through this timeline. Timeline is very important in this lesson. In this lesson only you are going to learn the timeline, and then up to 10th class you are going through the history through this timeline. So very nicely you study the timeline in this lesson. So it's an important tool of history. It arranges events and other dates of the past in the order in which they took place. The year 1 CE and AD, when Lord Jesus Christ was believed to be born, is taken as central point in a timeline. Some sources of history are old stone tools, pottery, coins, painting, etc. They are the sources of the history as well as the tools of the historians. These are the sources of history as well as the tools of historians: coins, old books, old newspaper, monuments. So many things are written on these coins. Through this written or through these photos of the coin, we come to know which time the coins are used. Like that, so many things of the particular time we come to know by their coins. From the books definitely we come to know so many things, and from the old newspaper also, and in the monuments also so many things are written. The script, so many different languages are written on the wall, by digging the area. So many things historians are getting, and by that we come to know which time the monument situated, by whom at that time, who was a king, etc., etc. Everything we come to know through the monument. The situation, the way of life of the people at that time, so many things we come to know through the monuments, newspaper, books and coins. Again, one revision of the timeline. If the central point we suppose take as a Jesus' birth, then this is before the Christ birth, means BCE, before Common Era. Okay, that is 1000 BCE, 2000 BCE, 3000 BCE, and that is after the Jesus Christ birth, that is Common Era, 1000 CE, 2000 CE, 3000 CE. To understand this timeline, it is very important to understand this timeline. Through this timeline only you study history till 10th class and after that also. So that is the basic thing to study history, because by this timeline only we come to know which event occurred when. Means suppose Jesus Christ's birth, we are taking this point. So before that, 1,000 years before that, what happened? Then 2,000 years before, what happened? All these things like that, we come to know what time, year we are going to count by this timeline. Now we are going to discuss the question answer. Why is it important to study history? History tells us about events that took place in the past, which help us to understand the present. Give 2 examples of tools of history: a timeline, books, newspaper, coins and paintings. There are so many examples I have given. You take any, choose any 2. What is timeline? A timeline arranges events and dates of the past in the order in which they took place. Write the difference between BCE and CE. BCE means before Common Era, mean the time before the Jesus Christ birth, and CE means Common Era, the time period after the Jesus Christ birth. With this question, with this answer, along with this answer, you have to draw the timeline. You have to draw, otherwise half marks will go. That is very important to draw in this answer. What are the sources of history? Various objects that the historians study to know about the past are known as the sources of history. Example: old photograph, books, old pottery, buildings and monuments, and old newspaper. Thank you very much. If you like the video, share it and like it. And if you are new in my channel, then subscribe it. नीचे description में all the things are given very in detail. You can go to the description box and whatever you want you can see related this lesson. And if you want anything in English and SST, you can message me, you can comment me in comment box. That video I will prepare in next coming time. Thank you very much for watching me.